Hello, welcome to another weekly news roundup. Now, last week we mentioned the NAB Amplify site, and we should really suggest that you also check out IBC 365, where this week we spotted an article that Sky News have conceived and launched a channel dedicated entirely to the George Floyd murder trial in just 9 days.
We noted in the article that singular.live, the cloud graphics specialist, put together the Sky look in a matter of days. Their platform sends out a URL that you just copy into your system as an input and the live graphics appear. It's remarkably straightforward and we've got them on the show this week, so do look out for that.
Now, microservices are usually parts of a larger system. They're small parts of software that run independently of each other, consistently talking to one another to make up the full system. Now, why do we mention this, you might ask? Well, we spotted a video entitled A Broadcaster's Guide to Microservices from Next Edition, and we were intrigued, so much so that we now also have an article about it on kitplus.com/articles. You can check that out, and the video is on the footer if you prefer to watch.
We've also spotted a growing number of surveys, mainly on LinkedIn, for when people will be happy going live face-to-face events. It seems that July, August, and with a COVID vaccination would satisfy around 60% of those responding. And of course, we should expect that to increase as time goes by, which is positive news for the Kit Plus show that we plan to hold on the 6th of July at Media City UK.
And before we get down to the news, let's head over to Raj for this week's question.
Hello, this week's question. As OTT services become increasingly popular with viewers as well as advertisers, broadcast engineers need to manage a more complex ecosystem with an ever-growing list of logging and compliance requirements. Therefore, is your current compliance and monitoring solution unified and capable of identifying issues across all traditional and OTT playout?
Thanks, Raj. It's certainly a challenge with the ever-evolving OTT offerings, and we'll be back with him later in the show for some solutions.
Now let's get to the news, and we start with something a little left field for us, gaming. Access Europe has announced that it's partnering with nDream AG to bring its award-winning cloud gaming platform AirConsole to the car. The partnership will see Access Europe offer multiplayer gaming through its in-vehicle infotainment, which is IVI platform, Access Time for Car, and its car-centric app store.
Autodesk has unveiled updates to mma-a, 3ds Max and MotionBuilder, bringing artists powerful new tools to accelerate and streamline their workflows. Most noticeably, you've got the USD plugin for mma-a, which is now seamlessly integrated and enables artists to load and edit massive data sets at lightning speed.
AJA are a company with news to share, so we're going over to Bryce Button now for an information specifically on the release of Bridge Live version 1.11.
Hello, I'm Bryce Button, Director of Product Marketing here at AJA Video Systems. I just wanted to share with you some of our latest news from the last week. We have just released Bridge Live version 1.11 software, and introduces a great new range of features and, of course, as always, maintenance updates. So included in this release, we have HLS input. This is going to be great news for those of you working with Apple devices in particular. It enables you to bring them in as input, and of course you can encode, decode, transcode as you need to, which is part of the heart of what our streaming gateway solution Bridge Live is. So in addition to that, we have a bunch of other great features, including VBR recordings with low latency. We also have updated our presets and the ability to configure and control pipelines to make it simpler. And we also include Dolby Digital Plus support, or E-AC3. This is going to be great for dealing with wonderfully rich audio sources and the ability to pass them along into your feeds. So I encourage you to go visit aja.com, take a look at our What's New page. You can always link to the new software from there. Otherwise, just visit aja.com in general. You'll also find a lot of information around Bridge Live in both our streaming and our remote workflow solution pages. And for a lot of us right now, of course, dealing with remote workflows is the heart of all that we are doing. So thanks very much to Kit Plus, and I hope you have a great week.
Thanks, Bryce, for that update, and do check out Bridge Live at aja.com.
Now, for the last 20 years, Caracol Television in Colombia has relied upon intercom solutions from RTS. starting with Zeus matrices and evolving over time into their current state-of-the-art system setup, which includes Adam and Odin digital intercom matrices, KP series key panels, Romeo DECT-based wireless belt packs, and now V-Link.
Yeah, V-Link is a user-friendly smartphone tablet app that mimics an intercom user station. Simple as that, really. It enables remote users to interface with RTS intercom matrices via the internet, allowing a new degree of control and flexibility from anywhere in the world, of course, including from home. V-Link has allowed broadcasters to go across the globe, working remotely during the COVID-19 crisis, as well as continue on-site operations while socially distanced.
Net Insight has been selected by NEP Connect to deliver remote production workflows for UK broadcaster coverage. Net Insight's remote production workflow solution allows full production capabilities with multi-stream alignment of video and audio feeds for 30 HD cameras alongside UHD 4K and slow motion cameras to transport multiple streams back to the centralized production center. NEP Connect's AnyLive contribution network leverages Net Insight's scalable Nimbra technology with upgradable man boards and JPEG 2000 to support 3G at 1080p.
Not all news is brought to you in a quiet, controlled setting. Let's go over to a man most recently found in front of the green screen. Here's Nick Pearce from Object Matrix with the latest from Wales.
Excuse the noise, but incredibly proud today to announce that BBC Cymru Wales has extended its 10-year, well, almost 11-year relationship with Object Matrix by upgrading their existing infrastructure to a new 5-year hybrid cloud contract. 3 petabytes, 2 petabytes on-prem in this amazing building, and 1 petabyte in Matrix Store Cloud that will enable their producers, editors, or staff, wherever they are, to access content from anywhere. It's brilliant news for Object Matrix, and we couldn't be more delighted. So thank you very much for putting your faith in us once more, and we look forward to the next 10 years. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
I've got no idea what you said at the end then, but yeah, thanks, Nick. Well-placed faith from BBC Wales, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And with many things over the past year, the world of sport saw significant disruption to its regular routine. And with no ambient sounds to enhance the broadcast, television networks had to find alternative ways to replicate the at-home viewer's experience. In response, Fred Vogler launched Sonos Fans, an immersive sports crowd performance system. The sound library was created using recordings captured with a selection of DPA microphones and mma-a digital audio interface.
That was a thing that NASA sent to Mars recently, wasn't it?
It was. It was built on Earth, tested on Mars, apparently.
Cool. Well done. Yeah. So, of course, due to many postponed events, 2021 will be a big year for sport, and many competitions are using technology for not only to give viewers the best live experience, but for other users too. Let's head over to Leah at Dejero and find out more what she's got to say on this.
Just last week, Dejero technology was used to support the production of a live virtual competition between more than 24 elite divers from 3 pools based in London, Edinburgh, and Montreal, Canada. Diving Canada worked with local systems integrator Integrated Sports Systems to solve the latency challenge of hosting an international virtual diving competition. In a traditional diving competition environment, the dives are happening really quickly, and judges on site are scoring dives every 60 seconds or so. So when you take that event virtual, you want to maintain that same experience. So the latency of the video is critical and it needs to be minimal. So that's, of course, where Dejero technology comes in. During the virtual competition, live feeds were transmitted through a Dejero Ngo from each of the 3 pools to a waypoint receiver that was located in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, at the production studio. From that waypoint, the live feeds were then simultaneously distributed with sub 1 second latency to first a proprietary judging platform, a virtual judging platform called UJudge, to 7 judges dispersed across the UK and Canada for near real-time scoring, while also streaming via Vimeo for public viewing on Diving Canada's website, and also to have a live video wall located poolside in Montreal so the divers could get that kind of immersive experience and see the dives that were happening across the Atlantic in real time. Obviously, COVID travel restrictions have caused some major disruptions to training and competitions for divers as they prepare for the upcoming 2021 season. a season, as we know, has some pretty significant events in it. So being able to replicate the feeling of a live competition is really huge and something that Diving Canada is looking to replicate really soon, with more athletes in more countries competing virtually.
Great, yeah. Can see these virtual competitions really benefiting from this technology. Thanks for that, Leah.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Frame.io, the world's leading video review and approval platform, have released Frame.io Camera to Cloud, C2C, a secure cloud-based workflow that lets customers instantly upload and stream images from on-set cameras to creative post-production teams anywhere in the world. Camera to Cloud is now shipping and included with all paid Frame.io plans at no additional cost.
Cool. So I guess that's the final release, as the delivery of it, not just the fact that they were announcing it. And yeah, we've done that before. Cool. Spectralogic have released its annual Data Storage Outlook report, which explores how the world manages, accesses, uses, and preserves its ever-expanding data repositories. The 6th edition of the report predicts the data storage strategies, architectures, and technologies that will enable the protection, management, and preservation of historical, current, and future data for generations to come. Check it out at spectralogic.com. There's some great insight there, such as LTO9 tape shipping this year with 18 terabytes per cartridge.
Wow. Net Insight has announced the successful implementation of the world's first 100 gig Ethernet IP media trust boundary for the delivery of an uncompressed IP playout solution to Red B Media. Now that's great news if you know what a trust boundary is. We don't know what it is, but we do know a man who does. Over to you, MrMXF.
A trust boundary is more than just the lid of the tin that separates me from the family cake. And in a press release this week, Net Insight and Red B announced a 100 gig IP media trust boundary. So what's that? I asked Net Insight. And they responded, well, it will pass approved IP media traffic, but block non-approved traffic. So why is that important, I asked. And they said, well, as we do more remote production, we need to protect the central site with a high bandwidth, low latency firewall type mechanism. Now, I'm a big fan of this kind of tool. In fact, Net Insight, Arqiva, and others are bringing a trust boundary recommended practice to SMPTE. This should allow some sort of consistency in both the implementation and the operation of these important security tools. So, if this kind of media firewall ignites your interest, then get in touch with KitPlus or Net Insight or Red B or Arqiva or me if you want to help this kind of security tool become the norm.
There we go, making sense of the news every week. Thanks, MrMXF. And Light Panels has announced the launch of a new and powerful stable dual-band wireless DMX system. Light Panels Apollo Bridge uses advanced dynamic frequency hopping technology to instantly create a robust wireless DMX network anywhere.
Video Assist Hungary, one of Central Europe's most active media service providers, has recently invested in a Leader LV5350 waveform monitor as part of its expansion to 4K HDR video mastering, color grading, and post-production. Supplied by the channel partner Temside.tv, the new instrument will also be offered as part of the company's growing HDR rental fleet, which is available for both outside broadcast and in studio.
And Broadpeak has successfully performed the world's first live demonstration of Streaming Video Alliance open caching APIs. During the demo, Broadpeak showcased an end-to-end workflow, which is a set of open APIs that standardizes the interface between the hosted local cache infrastructure of an ISP, the party operating it, and content providers. By moving hosted video caches as close as possible to end users' terminals, local caching reduces traffic across a telecom operator's core network and improves streaming quality.
So earlier in the show, Raj asked that as OTT services become increasingly popular, broadcast engineers need to manage a more complex ecosystem with an ever-growing list of logging and compliance requirements. So, is your current solution capable of identifying issues across traditional and OTT playout? Let's find out what he has to say about that.
OTT is now a primary form of distribution and revenue generation. As this trend continues, content owners and regulators alike are looking to improve OTT services by applying the same standards for video quality, audio, and captioning as with traditional television broadcast. As playout systems are no longer treating OTT streams as secondary to primary screen distribution, keeping up with so many OTT streams can be daunting, which is why having a unified system for monitoring and compliance and identifying issues across all traditional and OTT playout is critical. Mediaproxy enables operators to log and monitor outgoing streams as well as TS and OTT stream metadata, including event triggers, closed captions, and audio information, all from one place. With its roots in broadcast engineering, Mediaproxy is continually working to adapting its software to the increasing complex and exciting potential of OTT video services.
And you can check out those unified solutions from Mediaproxy at mediaproxy.com. Thank you, Raj. And thanks for watching. Don't forget, all KitPlusTV content is available as a podcast. Just search KitPlus from your podcast app and keep up with the latest industry news and interviews on the move. We'll see you next time.